Hi, thank you all so much. I'm really happy to hear about the future of cities and everything, and accessibility, and the why of creating things. I think that's really important for everything, and it actually ties in with some of the things I have to say. So really well done, thank you. It was great speech. I've just completed my master's degree, contemporary art at the VCA, where I worked to create a series of works on non-binary transness in a binary state, or 3D modeled human figures that defy gender binaries, with an exploration of transness through augmented reality applications and machine learning interactions. It's refreshing to be able to talk about it like that. I love the VCA, but it's really not a technical school. So I became competent, I guess somewhat adept in communicating in non-technical ways many of the technical aspects of my work. I talked about the ghost in the machine and the dreams of computers. I came into the VCA as a painter, with 3D as a tool to help me paint. And somewhere within its non-technologically hallowed halls, I became purely a new media artist, working with some of the latest technologies. New media doesn't appear on many people's radars, and when it does, it's often the technical parts have been outsourced. To be successful in new media art, it seems, you need loads of money to be able to hire the nerds you need to complete your vision. So we get an image of an artist as a visionary, but not necessarily a vision of an artist as a nerd. Well, I'm a nerd. I'm a huge, ridiculous nerd. And I'm also an artist, and I'm proud to be both. I've finally and comfortably managed to merge the two cohesively inside myself. I came into my master's degree as a painter, using 3D modeling to create the life models I needed for reference to get the lighting and the anatomy right. I couldn't afford life models, and it turns out that real humans will not hover upside down over the ground at 3 a.m. I know, right? Luckily, open source and mixed licensing came to my rescue. With Blender, MakeHuman, Daz 3D, and Lux Render, all of these are free platforms for 3D modeling and rendering, and they've become increasingly powerful over the years. My final series of works from my master's were photographic style prints of my final renders on MDF and a collection of laser-cut MDF abstract pieces based on the final result of the machine learning. Inside the app, each would resolve through a series of machine learning animations. The app I made was called Recursion. And you can look it up. It's on the Google Play and on the App Store. When I started conceptualizing these augmented reality works, I despaired over the initial quotes I was given. I'm not wealthy, I'm a starving artist. But there are options for developing augmented reality solutions on your own if you're not afraid of a little code. It's seen as unusual in the art world to do these things for yourself. You do the painting yourself, unless it's above your pay grade, like Damien Hirst. But the back-end programming is totally different. But is it really? Is 3D modeling on a computer that different to clay modeling? Or rendering that different to photography? Is programming that different to writing? It's just another language, or several usually, but in the end it's another medium to explore, another technique to conquer. And with Stack Overflow and GitHub and Unity, there are so many amazing resources out there to help anyone learn, even artists. Because the future of art is new media. This has been said since the 80s, but the art world moves really slow. I've seen that idea catching up slowly with mixed reality, with the idea that we can blur the lines between the real world and the digital, that we can create new worlds out of thin air. The future is in augmented reality. That capability to have another world within our devices that we can access privately, an intimate world of visual delights grafted onto our own real world. Blurring the line between the digital and the real, where people can go looking for hidden street art by following a map to a secret location and watch the work as it is installed on the wall on their device. Or watch the history of the street art that has been in the space bloom before their eyes, like this piece here. While still preserving an ephemeral art form in its space forever and maintaining that freedom of expression so necessary for artists. Where archaeological artifacts in situ can have their colors visible to everyone on their phones, but still be preserved for the ages. Where artists can collaborate to create 3D reactions to 2D works and soundscapes that blossom into being and interact with others. Augmented reality is a huge area of exploration for artists. But do you know what it's usually used for? Advertising. What a waste. A technology that can make our world extensible in so many ways, and companies have turned it into the holographic Jaws billboard from Back to the Future 2. Companies like Vuforia and Wikitude are helping to place the technology in the hands of everyone to develop as they wish. Why not look beyond the advertising to the possibilities inherent in the idea of adding secrets to the world? Sorry, I'm going to put that down. The future of art is in virtual reality. In virtual reality, artists can create whole worlds. Worlds of escape, sure, but worlds where people can literally place themselves in the shoes of another. What an incredible power that is. What avenues are open to expression if artists open their minds to the idea of allowing viewers to take part in their worlds, to go beyond the viewing experience, to connecting with it, to allowing themselves to be immersed within the mind's eye of the artist. They can take them to the next room or to a different planet. Artists can craft a simple hovering form or a complete environment and body. VR is about hacking the human brain and is uniquely situated to absorb people into the work, to immerse them in the message and the meaning and the power. You can't underestimate the power of making the audience a part of the work. VR can be developed in Unity and Unreal Engine for free. The high-end VR units are still an expensive barrier to entry here, but smartphone experimentation can begin with just a $30 smartphone headset or even Google Cardboard. The future of art is in machine learning. Whether you choose Python, Lua, R, or something else entirely, machine learning has taken enormous strides. We're in an age where a neural network analysed thousands of analysed Rembrandt paintings and created its own painting of a completely fabricated human in the style of Rembrandt. Oop, wrong side, sorry. Where you can show a neural network a picture and have it write a song. Do you all remember this? It was around Christmas. A lot of people say it's really creepy. I don't see it. We can use neural style, which allows you to create anything in the style of anything else. You can train your own network in anything your heart desires. The capabilities of this tech are just starting, but already so enormously exciting. Every day I learn of new amazing ways that people are using machine learning, and the incredibly frivolous ones too. I'm astounded because I'm still barely scratching the surface, and already I've created a series of 14 animations showing the iterative process of the neural network turning my renders into stained glass windows, archaeological artifacts, even paintings. There aren't many neural nets trained in art. Some, but not enough. And I'm seeing it as a challenge to create some. It took me 250 pages of experimentation and exploration to get those 14 animations. But it became easier each time. I know this because I printed out the code and results at my supervisor's request. Complete with my notations, swearing, and emoji. Preserved for the ages. Somewhere along all my exploration into creating computer-generated art using code, I learned something that all my programming classes never taught me: how to document my code. There's something incredible to writing out the code to fire it off. You never quite know if it'll be a raging success or a complete disaster, or if you're going to miss a space or a comma and it's just going to fall over completely. My first attempts were horrifying. But that first image, when it came out, something created entirely by my computer, that was a moment. It doesn't even matter that it was hideous. It was a result. It was a momentous occasion brought forth by my computer. Creating something new, it took two disparate works and united them to create its own thing. I'd created an art student. I have no doubt we'll see incredible things from autonomously generated art. I hope I'm involved in some. But right now, I'm happy to just be teaching an art student, one that only occasionally talks back. The future of art is open. Art can be distancing. Art, like technology, often has its detractors. It misses the audience of the average person who may be less technologically savvy or less artistically in the know. These people are often afraid to look stupid or afraid they won't understand. VR puts up literal boundaries and is plagued with scare tales of brain damage and seizures. I've even heard people talking in tech spheres about their fears around VR. But almost everyone has a smartphone, and almost everyone is comfortable installing apps on their devices. I can't help people with all of their fears around art, but I found that by encouraging them to participate in the transformations of their works, by putting it on their own devices in their hands, they felt connected to the works in a way they hadn't before. Augmented reality is only a screen-width layer from our world. It adds to what we know and what we see and is more accessible to people, not just from a disability standpoint, but from a technological gap standpoint. Virtual reality has come a long way, and it will continue to progress, but so few units are comfortable, especially with glasses. Many require you to move in a space. Most don't seem to have enough consideration for people with mobility issues, with small heads or different pupillary distances. VR needs to be flexible for its users. The units are currently fixed, hard, immovable, and not within the reach of everyone just yet. But in the very near future, we will see VR move out of just being a shiny gadget to being indispensable, like a TV or a smartphone, or both. This is a beautiful old woman. Her wish was to experience the future. And Google granted her wish, but they showed her VR and put her on a tour of the campus and everything. But I love that image. I've been asked why I chose augmented reality for this series, often with a thinly veiled insinuation that VR is where it's really at. AR is more accessible, not just for people with disabilities or people with visual impairments or seizures, but also for the average person who's more cautious around technology. There is a magic to downloading an app to your own device that allows you to see something new in an artwork. I'd see it all the time. It's a magic window that allows you to see something more, a lens. It ends up being a smoother experience for people who would not otherwise try to access mixed reality technology. Keeping our work simple to operate and meaning-rich will help everyone embrace new technologies in art. The works I have created have been made with mostly free technologies. So many free and inexpensive options for 3D modeling are available. There are free game development options out there, free augmented reality solutions. There aren't many barriers to getting started and trying to create new works, trying to explore these new technologies and avenues for expression. New media is an excellent media for a generation of artists who can't afford models, can't afford paint and canvases or printing costs. Almost every one of your ideas, there's a free solution out there, or the tools to help you make your own solutions. The most important thing is to get out there and try, to develop, to test and explore, and then to find your voice, find what you want to say and bring the two together to create something no one has ever seen before. Finally, the future of art is meaning. This is my wow character. I'm always looking for the next quest, the next shiny, the next useful item I can squirrel away to use at a later date. I live inside computer-generated worlds, not just with my work, but my relaxation as well. I'm almost always playing a game when I'm not working. I guess the best part about being an artist, working in 3D modeling and using products like Unity, is that I can play games and call it research. Because it's true. Everything you do has an impact on your work when you're a creator. You have no idea what the media you absorb is going to inspire. So of course, I take it on myself to read, play, watch lots. Because you never know when inspiration will strike. I have a massive file of ideas involving VR, robotics, 3D printing, machine learning, augmented reality. I have to actively try to stop my mind from trying to split in 100 different directions as it chases each shiny new idea. I'm constantly fighting against being caught up in the quest for the next big thing. Like an RPG, I'm always drawn to the next shiny item, the next challenge. And being a tech artist, that just allows me to have more excuses to explore the technology that excites me the most. This can be a curse and a blessing, as usual, and I know you all understand what I mean when I say what a distraction the latest shiny tech can be. tech like AR and VR are shiny and exciting. Machine learning is shiny and exciting. I get so caught up in all the amazing things I can do and learn, all the different things I can try and the ways I can go higher, faster, further, more. I get so excited by what I could do, I sometimes forget why, or even if I should. As an artist, I have to step back and say, wait, but why? What is all this going to say? Where is the artwork in all of this work? And that is the key question when making art, whether it is a painting, a sculpture, or an augmented reality installation with 3D modeling and machine learning-based interactions. It's one thing to want to make the thing, or to be able to make the thing. The real question is why? I ran against that question a lot. I know some people consider mixed reality to be gimmicky, but I believe mixed reality gives us a unique capability to tap into the minds of our viewers. Art, like tech, is about experimentation. It is about absorbing information from everywhere and everything and distilling it into messages from your brain. We're trying to make a difference, to create feelings and experiences in a viewer that they may never have questioned before. We constantly quest to find our order in chaos. In many ways, this is what the basis of art is, trying to make sense of ourselves and our world. We create the concepts we absorb. VR and AR are perfect tools for hacking the viewer if you use them correctly. They're uniquely placed to alter the world of the viewer in a very literal way, to draw them into the art, which is why what we have to say is of even more importance. We encounter so much through a screen these days. We process our news, thoughts, socialization, relationships through the lens of a screen. We game, gamify, discuss, fight, consume, collaborate, support, and celebrate on a daily basis on our phones, our tablets, our computers. This digital frontier has become for us the norm, a way to keep in touch with people on the other side of the world or the other side of the room. We have the power as artists to draw people inside our works, to make them see things in new ways, to craft narratives and concepts, and to change people's minds. What an incredible power that is. What avenues are open to expression if artists would only allow viewers to take part and go beyond the viewing experience to connecting with it, to allowing themselves to be immersed within the mind's eye of the artist. The scrutiny turned on new media works means they have to be well executed and powerfully meaningful. What we choose to do with its power will determine the validity of the future of mixed reality in art. The validity of new technology in art hinges on its message. The future viability of that work and the future history of that piece will be forever marked by what you say, just as much as how you say it. Using these tools as masterfully as possible is, of course, vital, just as all artists must become masters of their medium. The pieces need to resonate, and with the tools freely and readily available, and often freely available, and the open minds of the viewers, we can ensure an excellent connection between the viewer and the content, between the real and the digital. Thank you.
Electro, come here. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, walking up to greet you under his own power. Electro, be yourself. Electro.